Those wishing to speak must state their name and address for the record after they're acknowledged by the board chair. Each person is limited to 2 minutes to make his or her remarks. Speakers will address all comments of the board as a whole and not to one individual commissioner. The board may not take action on an item presented during the public comment period unless the item is already on the agenda for action. When appropriate, the board may refer inquiries and items brought up during the public comment period to the county administrator for follow-up. Anybody wish to make public comment, we ask you to come up to the podium. Is there anybody wishing to make public comment?
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stony Creek Drive. 2 weeks ago, the county engineer told me that we'd be voting on a noise well within a month. I specifically asked if the EAW is back. He said no. Generally, a noise well vote happens after the EAW is available for public review. Yet he insisted the noise well vote had to be completed and included in the EAW before we could receive it. Imagine my surprise last week when I learned the EAW is back with a likely public comment date set. What happened to needing the noise well vote before the EAW could be considered complete? Time and again, we have been fed misleading or outright information. In 2022, we raised concerns about neighborhood safety due to proximity. Paul dismissed us saying, we do not have to do anything. We didn't do anything on 26th Street, but 26th Street was built 30 years before homes were developed there. We know his statements were far from accurate. He told us to expect 5,000 vehicles a day, yet data from the 90s showed traffic on between Dane and Rose Street would be closer to 13,000 vehicles, with at most 1,000 of that being due to the Highway 14 connection, making it comparable to 26th Street or Main Street today. Traffic counts are supposed to be a 20-year prediction based on models. Even WSB admits they don't know the actual traffic volume despite current studies, yet they continue to compare this to 26th Street. At a stakeholder meeting, local engineers told us that 15% of those 5,000 vehicles would be truck traffic, 750 vehicles today. When we pointed this out, we were ridiculed and suddenly the estimate was changed to 4%, yet the statewide average for rural roads is about 9%. As confirmed by emails, 750 trucks came from your own engineers. When we questioned avoidance as the first mitigation step, we were told it aligned with the map right away. The county engineer, Paul, confirmed that 34th Avenue was mapped for this exact reason, confirming what we knew in 2004 when our subdivision was built. We now know that avoidance has been under consideration for over a year, but Paul withheld this information fearing our scrutiny. In 23 and 24, we tried to tell you that the noise wall was required and would cost around $2 million. The county engineer already knew this. He tried to hide the cost from you and told us, you don't want a noise wall. Those are for big projects like Highway 14 and I-35. This led to officials dismissing our concerns, with some even suggesting we'd have to pay for the wall ourselves, and others saying that it would kill the project. Commissioners, we have all been misled. The difference is that while we kept fighting for the truth, we were labeled liars. Meanwhile, the county narrative keeps shifting without data to back it up. While our safety is priceless, today it carries a $2.3 million price tag. A vote for 29th Avenue is a 2-road commitment that will cost taxpayers $60 million. The alternative, 34th Avenue, was mapped for this very purpose with minor differences from 29th Avenue and Steele County residents' choice for 30 years. The county's mission statement is driven to deliver quality service in a respectful and fiscally responsible way. How is hiding costs and misleading the public respectful and fiscally responsible? You have a choice. I urge you to make the one that upholds integrity, transparency, and the best interest of all your taxpayers. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Is there any other public comment at this time? Seeing none, we'll move forward to correspondence. Looks like we have a thank you letter from the Southern Minnesota Initiative Foundation on page 4. And then we have the consent agenda, board's wishes.
I have a question. The front door is locked and we have people that wanted to make public comment.
Are they still there?
Okay.
Thank you.
We can go back to public comment if you're here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't see anybody out there, no. Oh, here it is.
I know the doors, I suppose.
Needs a Velcro on. Sorry, Matt.
Counselor?
We're at public comment. If you want to make public comment, you can take the stage.
Sure, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. Matt Senate, 2519 Stony Creek Drive. Appreciate being able to make some comments this evening with regard to the East Side Corridor project. Tonight, I just want to take a step back and say that I know that you all are working in the best interest of the public, and I know your job is not easy. As commissioners, you've got a lot of people that report to you and that are influenced by you. So when we're in this type of format where we're basically one-way communication, obviously that's sometimes not the most ideal in conveying ideas, concerns, and trying to get questions answered, basically. But that's where we find ourselves tonight, is kind of this one-way communication. We've been denied twice now, trying to reach out to our aligned officials and having some offline communications outside of this meeting so they could be two-way. And instead, that's been turned down and referred to public meetings with regard to the East Side Corridor project, which are held very infrequently. And I think that if we could have some conversations like that, we could work more collaboratively together, and some of these tensions between residents and those officials working on this project could be somewhat diffused. So that's all I want to mention tonight is, I appreciate your all's leadership, but unfortunately sometimes that creates some difficulties when we can't communicate directly with you outside of this one-way forum. So we'll just leave that with you this evening, and I hope that maybe we can communicate a little bit more two-way and work more collaboratively. Thank you.
Thank you. That being said, you know the next open house will be on the East Side Corridor?
We'll be doing some neighborhood meetings for noise analysis coming up in the next month or two. And then when we finalize the environmental reports, there'll be a public open house meeting for those final reports. And that's, we're looking at April, May timeframe maybe.
Sounds good. Look forward to it. Is there any other public comment? Seeing none, we'll move on to consent agenda. Board's wishes.